Hello, hello, my lovelies. Here we go. This is our lesson 1, and we're going to talk about image consulting in general, about our career, and something that I find extremely important and why it might seem like a no-brainer. Many people have to actually stop and think about it, which is ethics. And we're going to know why I say that. So what is the scope of image consulting? What is actually this whole world where you can have so many different services that help people align their personal presence, their personal appearance with their personalities, goals, career, personal needs, right? And even like they wants. So image consulting is actually an array of services that align people's appearance, behavior, communication, and digital presence. So they are coherent and congruent with their personalities and lifestyle, as well as career. So their professional and personal objectives are more easily perceived and reached. It connects their appearance to their life purpose. So this is what image consulting does to people, right? The result, that's the outcome. And the tools that we have, the things that we use to help people feel like they are successful in their appearance, maybe like many different ones. We're going to learn throughout this whole training program all of the tools that you will use for that. So you see here that I have on the screen A for appearance, B for behavior, and C for communication. And that is because when you talk about someone's image, we do have to understand that a person's image is much more than only what they look like, right? It has to do with how they behave, how they relate to other people, how they communicate. And when I talk about communicating, that will be like, are they loud? Are they low? Are they more extroverts, more introverts? Do they behave in a way that they're more formal, informal? So there is a lot about that that helps build somebody's personal image or even professional image. So these are what we call the ABCs of image consulting. And they have been like this. They have been these 3 for so long. Lately, and that is much before the pandemic hit, we actually started looking at a 4th element, which is the digital presence. Because the digital presence became an online, as if it were, let me find the best word, a curated version of that person brought to the online world. What people do is they curate their best experiences, their best images, their best opinions, let's say, and they bring it to the online world. Not everyone is that careful about their image, but then when they are not careful in their image, in their real life, they will not be in their digital life. If they are in their real life, most likely they will also be careful about their image in the digital presence pillar of image consulting. So there are image consultants who will become experts and deliver more services to make people look better, behave, communicate, or have a better digital presence. This is something you can choose to do. What I invite you to think about is how the digital presence has grown so much that it became more of a kind of an umbrella of all of the other 3. Because in your digital presence, people will see what you look like. They will understand, and they will have the impact of how you behave. And they will see the way you communicate through your words, through your actions, through your comments, right? So the digital presence, the digital world, social media has actually started to encompass all of the other three in one only pillar. When we talk about appearance, that is the pillar that people care the most about, and they hire image consultants for that reason alone the most, right? Because appearance is definitely what people see first. Not everyone has an opportunity to interact with others. Many times you just see the person, and then if you like what you see, and then if they're coming from an online world, it's what they see maybe from a picture. If they like it, they will want to interact with that person or not. So appearance is 100% important, and people are more and more aware of that, especially now that they have learned that they will not connect to other people online if the people do not like what they see first. So it's very powerful. And when we talk about appearance, we are talking about understanding a person's silhouette, body, and facial lines, as well as personal coloring, style, personality, lifestyle, personal and professional goals, to actually design a positive and meaningful image that translates and works positively towards the client's goals. It's all about the positive. It's all about enhancing, creating, building positiveness. So the client is considered a whole, and fashion is used as a tool when necessary or chosen by us or the client. Fashion is not the ground for the consultation. What is the most important about the consultation for it to work is the client. We will always start from the client and then come with solutions based on what they need. When we discuss the behavior pillar in image consulting, this is about their habits. It's about what they do. And then we help people become more adequate. We help people be better equipped for occasions, environments, new places, in groups and spaces where they will socialize or with people they will work. So for that, we use a lot of etiquette and protocol. These are the most common tools used. And we focus on good manners. We focus on good practices, both for personal and professional growth, and might also include cultural adaptation. So this is an opportunity for many expatriates sometimes to help people from their country adapt to a new country they're moving to, being, for instance, let's say if they are German and they move to the US, they know both cultures. They can help people connect and interact better because of that knowledge, right? So some image consultants may decide to work with behavior, and then etiquette, protocol, good practices will be their tools. When we talk about communication, it has to do with the kind of words, your voice intonation, the kind of style you use to talk, to write. So it is not only about speaking, but it's also about writing and reading, understanding, comprehension, right? So it's about vocabulary, posture, gestures, like everything you use to communicate. And there are many tools you can use. There are some image consultants who will actually even like become vocal trainers. They will, they come from speech therapy practices and then help people with presentations. And then many times, like even copywriting and language teaching, all of these things can come and help you build your services. So if you have a background in which communication was a tool that you used to offer services, if you were like, I wasn't a teacher before, So because I was a teacher and I help people communicate in English, it is very easy for me to use that as well when I'm working with clients. Sometimes they come for appearance, but I can help them adequate not only their appearance, but also the way they speak, what they say, and how they behave, to help them have a better overall image and not only better appearance. And then the new one, the digital presence, right? So this is where the process of image consulting has started like to translate in so many different ways, because there is so much we can do with digital presence. And if you are an image consultant, you can actually help people build their social media presence by helping them with both their presentation, like personal appearance, but also because of the kind of knowledge you have, you can help them have a better visual presentation if you want to start talking about design and more. Okay, so this is when you will help sometimes if you have a client who's going to, let's say, I had this situation once. A client of mine was going to run, he was going to start his run in politics, okay? He wanted to be a district, it was here in New York. He was going to be elected for the district, the council, yeah, of one of the districts in the city. And he wanted me to help him align his image in a way that people would look at him and feel that he was trustworthy, but that he was still approachable, okay? But then when I looked at his social media, I was like, uh-oh, it doesn't matter if when people see you offline, you look great and you convey your message. And then when they go to your social media, they will see this. This is not in alignment. So you can very well help them be in alignment online. And then you can use all of your expertise from even like previous experiences that you have had. Okay. So this can include preparing people for presentations, preparing them to have their best social media presence, helping them in photo shoots when they're going to create a website, giving them tips on what to wear for their website, things like that. So it's very, very broad. There's so much you can do because now you have 4 pillars that are very sustainable and very demanded in image consulting. So when we're talking about appearance, you also have ABCs, right? And the A in this ABC is accentuate. This is when you're going to help your client accentuate the features that they are the most comfortable with, or those that are the ones they need to accentuate so that they actually have the results they expect from their appearance. When you talk about balance, it's about some fine tuning. Sometimes it is a little like it is something good for them, but it's just like they're overdoing it or they're underdoing it. So like bringing it more to balance, or camouflage. And then when you talk about camouflage, it is definitely about making something that is crystal clear be less perceived because of the tools, because of the elements of design that you will bring and use with them. So sometimes what you have to camouflage is some fat excess on the belly. Sometimes what you want to camouflage is a mole on their face that they don't like. They don't like people to see that. Or sometimes it's a scar, or sometimes it is their shoulders that are not even. Okay, so there's so many things that people want to camouflage, and this is when you have to show how good of an image consultant you have become, how great you are at what you do, that you can actually make people. It's not that it's going to disappear. You're not going to be a magician. You're not going to be a plastic surgeon, but you're going to use the elements of design in a way that you will guide the person's eyes to look somewhere else, and they will not perceive that challenging spot that the person has as much. It will be secondary to them. It's not going to be something that they will be paying attention, right? So this is what you do when you camouflage. When we talk about the possibilities, when you decide that you want to work helping people look and feel great, there are many variants of what you can do. And there are also many different names you can think about to introduce yourself as a professional. You may have heard people saying, oh, I'm a wardrobe consultant, or I'm a wardrobe stylist, or I'm a personal shopper, or I'm a fashion assistant or fashion consultant. There are just so many different ways. As you learn what you can do, as you learn the services that you can actually offer, you will understand better all of these secondary options. But now, as we're beginning to think about your career, I want you to think that there are two very common paths for you to choose from. One is if you decide to become a personal stylist, and the other if you decide to become an image consultant. Before I go ahead, I want to just say there is no right or wrong answer here. It is only wrong if you feel that you're called to do something and you don't, and you do it differently, okay? So some people have an eye for fashion and trends, and they like really being on top of what's trending, of what's the next sensation. And those people are great ones to become personal stylists. They will be the ones helping people choose the most awesome shoes. There are others who care more about how the person feels, how they want to be perceived. They don't care as much as about fashion. They only want their clients to be comfortable in their skin. They will be the ones helping people wear shoes that fit, that they look good, that they can walk long distances. So they care more about the feet than about the shoes. Those are more naturally equipped to become image consultants. There are many other differences that we can think about to help you decide what route you want to go. The world of a personal stylist is a lot more creative than the world of an image consultant. An image consultant is more about theories, about science, about psychology, about behavior. She is much more of a traditional, of an elegant, and she's much more of a romantic person. Whereas the personal stylist is a lot more into fashion, just like what I said before, but like runway shows, photography. She likes fashion events, avant-garde events. She likes being out there mingling with a lot of people, being the full party person, the one that is always the center of attention. She's more open in that sense, okay? The two of them have to keep on studying for the long term. It's not like you will learn to become a personal stylist or an image consultant and then that's it, it's done. No, you have to keep up to date. You have to keep like seeing what's coming in terms of trends for your business. If you are more towards becoming a personal stylist, you will want to know what the next fashion trend is. You will want to know what the color of the year is. If you are an image consultant, definitely not that much. You may, but you will not need that to be successful. So it's different worlds. Personal stylists appeal more for like the younger audience, both when you are becoming and when you're hiring. So if someone who's younger wants to hire a personal stylist, wants to hire a professional, most likely they will want a personal stylist. People who are like over 30 and plus, okay, over 30, people who are over 30, they will prefer to hire image consultants, except if they are in the creative world themselves. If they are celebrities, if they are actors, if they are singers, if they are in theater, right? Then they want someone who is more like trendy and fashion oriented. Okay. So these are the basic differences, and it's important for you to feel it for yourself so that you understand what path you identify yourself with and how you're going to be choosing what to do as soon as you learn all of the skills to be a professional. There are many different types of clients that actually hire an image consultant. Okay. You can have a more individual base of clients, or you can focus more on the corporate world. When you think about individuals who hire, more often than not, they can be business people. And why do I say that? It's because business people are those who are ready to pay to have the best appearance possible because they want to reach their professional goals. They want to be better perceived. They want people to look at them and know that they are in the game, know that they look the part so they can actually perform. There is an immediate connection of being capable of doing something because you look like you can do it. People look at you and they think, okay, she can do it because she looks like someone who can. So they add credibility by hiring an image consultant. New graduates, like people who have just started their professional careers, right? They are just newly graduate and they are looking for a first job, or they are looking for their very first internship, the opportunity that they want to join. Sometimes if they want to be in the corporate world, they will need to look the part much before they have entered the workforce. So this is an audience. The challenge with this audience, however, is they don't usually have the means to hire you. So for them, this would be a great program to offer at universities. If they're looking for a new job, people who have like been sacked, right? They lost their jobs. They are out in the market looking for an opportunity. Many times they want to try and go either for something new or even a better position than the position they had before. Sometimes they realize that they have lost their jobs because they didn't look the part, and they want to up their game. So they are very, very important clients here. Or if they are employed, but they're looking to have a promotion. If they're looking to have a promotion, they're most likely looking at themselves and thinking, okay, the person who had this job before, they got promoted and looked like this. Do I look like them? How can I look like someone who can take up this next step in my career, right? Who can actually be promoted to this job or function or title or whatever that is. Someone who's looking for a steady relationship. This is so interesting. You would be surprised to know there are so many people out there who look for image consultants, and then sometimes a stylist, of course, to help them look like marriage material. That's right, to help them look like marriage material. So many people are just like used to the life of a single person, the things that you do and wear, that they don't realize that people who get married look different. So they need help. I actually have a friend who does that. She helps people who want to have a serious relationship, who want to be in a steady relationship, to get married, look like they're ready for that. Most of her clients are men. Women, they have a clue. When it's about like finding someone and having a relationship, they know that they have to look like someone who wants to be in a relationship. Men need more help. Relocation. This is another opportunity that I find extremely nice for people who are expatriates, because you know the culture where you are and the culture you come from. and you have like this special empathy towards the people who are going through the same that you've been through, right? So helping with relocation, and then you can actually add other type of services like in real estate, or in helping them find the best, well, this is somehow real estate, like the best district for a school. Or if it's someone like, and this is something that has happened before, the man has been transferred and the wife is like a stay home mom or something like this, and then she doesn't even know where to go shopping. She doesn't know where she will find clothes that align with her personality, because she's in a totally different place where the stores have a different personality. So working with people who relocate is an amazing, amazing opportunity. Post pregnancy, many women just like get lost after they have children. And I don't think there's anything bad about it. It's just natural that we become just like moms, and all we care about is like, are our kids like hungry? Are they like healthy? Do I have to change their diapers? Like, what's going with their world? And then we just forget about ourselves. So after pregnancy, our body is different. Our clothes don't fit anymore. Our mindset is not the same. And we look at our closet and wow, that doesn't represent me anymore. So this is another opportunity for you to work with like clients who have decided, I'm not having kids anymore. This is it. Now it's time for me to look at myself. Help me look like someone who had kids, but now like I have time for myself as well. People who are re-entering the professional market, and they may as well be those moms who decided that now it's time for them to get back in the workforce because they were moms for too long. Now it's time for them to think about themselves and find a job. So it's another transition in their life, another opportunity for us to offer services. Retirees. This is so funny and so cute and so nice to work because you will very often see those folks who retire, and their options are like quite funny, and we need to help them because either they will keep on wearing the clothes that they used to wear to go to work because that's what they got used to, or they will go back to what they used to wear in the past when they didn't work. And then that is when they make the most mistakes. I mean, not that wearing what they used to wear to go to work is not a mistake, it is, but their memory of what to wear, for instance, to go spend the day with friends, is what they used to wear like 20, 30 years ago. They don't know how to shop different. They don't know how to think different. This is the world that they know. So they just like go back to that very comfortable time in their lives. And this is a very nice audience to focus on. They kind of are similar to empty nesters. The difference here is empty nesters come from an empty nest, meaning it's the family thing. It's not having their kids that moves them towards looking into themselves again. Whereas with the retirees, what moves them to look at themselves again is not having their job. So they feel empty, like either from children or from their jobs. And now it's time for them to look at themselves. And it is so hard to stop and see yourself after not doing that for so long. Any other type of personal transition. I have even heard about image consultants who work with people who are transitioning like their gender, right? So this is a possibility. People who are transitioning from one type of career to another. Let's say someone who used to be in a more formal environment, and now they are going to go into something that is more creative, like going from a bank to a marketing agency or something like this, or like whatever other personal challenge that people are going through. Sometimes it's a divorce. Sometimes it is someone that has moved out and or moved in. It's personal, it's different. When you talk about the corporate world in image consulting, you have several options as well. What we have to think about here, when I think corporate, there is this important difference that we have to make. First thing that I had for individual clients was business people. This is when someone who may be in corporate hires you themselves. So let's say a CEO hires you to help them look better. When I refer to corporate, it's because the party that is hiring you is the corporation, not the person. So you're going to be working B2, not B2B, no, not B2C, but B2B, okay? With individuals, it's a B2C. It's the business, yourself, the business, and your client, which is the C. When it's the corporate work, then it's like you as a business hired by another business. So it's a different relationship. Many times, this is when your fees are higher, because there may be a great chance you will be training the trainer. And if that is something you're doing, write this down right now. This is a writer downer. If you are being hired by a company and you will eventually become someone who's training a trainer, you have to charge a lot more. You have to think about how long your training will be live, how many people will be trained, and how many opportunities of training them again you are not going to have, because you're giving this one training that is going to be multiplied and so many other people will watch. So this is when you have a chance to really charge more. One of the things that you may end up doing is the dress code. And the dress code, the good thing about it is many of the companies that hire you to do the dress code, they actually want the same thing. So you will be offering kind of the same result all over again. So it's like you can sit down once, plan that from beginning to end, and then as you have a new opportunity to work with a company, you will just edit the points, edit the topics according to what the company needs. You will customize it for them, but you can very well have it ready like from the beginning. Training staff for growth, okay? Training the people at a company on how they should actually look, how to apply the dress code, the do's and don'ts, best practices, what they should not be doing, what they could be doing, what they must be doing regarding their image, their presentation, their communication, their social media. Sometimes there will be companies who will say that their employees cannot have certain types of posts on social media, right? They can be restrictive. There are things that they cannot be talking about because of the sensitive information that they have access to. Okay, so you can be hired to talk about those things, because what they do is they hire the image consultant to be that person who's an outsider saying this is the right way to go, and then it's not them. It's like, you know, this is the right way to go. You just heard a professional speak about it, so let's just not even go there. An employee that is being prepared for a new role. This is when many companies see potential in one of their employees, or sometimes they have those programs where they prepare people to one day be the CEO. And many times it can be like in family companies, you have a son that is in the business learning to do what his dad does. And it could be very well a daughter. I don't know why I said son, but it could be a mother and a daughter, whatever relationship that is. And then they are being prepared for a more important role. So there are things they will have to learn about their appearance, about how to be and look appropriate, behave appropriately, and all of the other aspects of image consulting as well. The image adequacy to companies, meaning companies have different philosophies, they have different beliefs, they have different things that they stand by and they stand for. And then as an image consultant, you will help people who are not aligned with those aspects look the part. Sometimes it's because they come from a different culture. Sometimes it's because they come from a creative world and then they're joining now a more classic world. Like if they're coming from, just like I said before, someone who's going from the corporate world going to the creative marketing agency world, it could very well be the opposite. They're coming from a very creative world as a marketing agency, and now they have to look the part in a business where it's very classic. It's maybe a law firm, because like law firms also hire creative people, right? We have to know that even like creative companies have people that have to look more serious. They look more corporate like. And then corporate companies, some corporations, for as serious as they are, they will also have a team of people who are in the creative world. And you have to make it in a way that regardless of what their job is in the company, they are all within the same umbrella and they all agree and behave and look just like the company culture. So they have to be an image of the company's culture. Sales training. Sales training is interesting because it's an opportunity for you to go into retail stores, for instance, and train their staff to use image consulting tools to sell more. And this, again, can very well become a train the trainer, and this can be a very nice opportunity for you to make more money because you will either train, and this is something that I'm telling you, again, this is a writer downer. Don't forget about this. If you are training a company about like how they will use image consulting techniques to sell more, you can go ahead, deliver the training, turn around, and that's it. And that's one training that you have given, and that's not something that you're going to charge like tops. But if you're giving them the recording, if they're going to be able to play that recording by themselves again without having to speak to you, this is when your fee goes very high, because you will not know how many people will be learning from that one-time training that you're giving. Uniform. Image consultants can be hired to design a uniform, and this is when you have to use all of your knowledge to come up with something that will represent all silhouettes, all color distinctions, all styles, and of course the company as well. So have to put all of that together and come up with some uniform that when anyone looks at, they go like, okay, I can wear that. It makes sense to me. Okay, this is hard, but not so hard because it's been done so much that it's not a copy and paste, because you do have to understand the culture, but uniform is something that is not as creative, right? You have some limitations because you're going to have to think about the dress code as well. Protocol. This is when you're like not necessarily working with the A from image consulting, but then with the B, like the behavior, what is right, what is wrong in our company, what you should do, what you cannot do if you're visiting a client, the things that will help you and the company look good before the client, and the things that will make you look really bad, and so on and so forth. So there is just like so much you can explore here. This is just the beginning, but I'm pretty sure that while I'm telling you all of these opportunities you have, you're already thinking of your own. So in the beginning, I told you about like ethics and how, although it should be a no-brainer, why we should talk about it. There will be places, there will be moments, there will be situations in your professional life where you will see something that does not actually represent our industry, and you may have to say something about it. Okay, so ethics, like plain and simple, is what is good for individuals and society and is described as moral philosophy. So it should be something that everyone agrees upon. It is a word that comes like from Greek, and it has to do with custom, habit, character, disposition. So all of these things together like become very ethical. It's also like moral principles that govern a person's behavior or conducting of an activity. So in our industry, because we are a non-regulated career profession, we actually have an international association who does that for us. The Association of Image Consultants International, they are the ones who say what is ethical or what is not ethical. So when you join the association, which you all hear well, you're also signing a code of ethics. You're also signing that you will be an ethical professional. And being an ethical professional in our world is having the same vision and mission that we have with the association. So the vision AICI has is that it's a world where all individuals and organizations have the opportunity to develop confidence and charisma for growth. Very beautiful. And I love it that they say charisma, because image is not something that's tangible, right? It is something that you are not, how can I say that? You cannot measure it. There is no way that you can say that a certain image will get like a certain result. It's not an immediate thing, but it is something that it deals a lot with the psychological aspect, with your feelings, and then that boosts your confidence to reach higher grounds and to like also be more comfortable in your skin. Our mission with AICI is that we're a global organization that sets and promotes the highest professional standards for image consultants in appearance, behavior, and communications. So if in the future, and I will talk about that in a minute, you decide, for instance, to become a certified consultant with our association, there will be standards for you to reach before you can be certified. So having an association is something that actually makes us look good, like for other people, because they know that, okay, so she's a member of the association, she has signed a code of ethics, and there are things that she will have to answer to, right? So if you see a fellow image consultant who is an AICI member doing something that you consider not ethical, you can actually let the association know about it, and they will speak to them. They will see what they will do about it. We also have our International Day. November 23rd is the day we celebrate image consultants all over the world. And then there are events that AICI offers as well. So what are the principles for AICI? We work in collaboration. We like partnerships. We help people have continued education. We want people to keep on learning. We want our industry to grow. We want everyone to be excellent. We thrive for excellence and integrity and respect. These are our principles. And some of the ways that we have found to make those things happen is by having certifications. So there are 3 levels of certification. It's the CIC, which is the Certified Image Consultant, the CIP, which is the Certified Image Professional, and the CIM, the Certified Image Master. You can only apply to be a CIC after you have been in the association for at least 1 year. You can only apply to be a CIP after you have been a CIC, if I'm not mistaken, for 2 or 3 years. And then you can only apply to be a CIM after having been a CIP for 5 years. Yes. So these are like one of the ways that we make sure that people actually grow, because they have something they are looking up for too. They really want to get there. They want to be a CIC, they want to be a CIP, they want to be a CIM, to be that respected, right? And for you to keep your certification, you do have to take classes that are CEU'd, which is continued education units, so that they know that you have taken a certain number of hours in training on the aspects that AICI tells you that they belong to our core content. What is my purpose? What is Lizzie's essence and style purpose for image consulting? What is my view? What is my vision? What is my goal? What is my dream? And like, what I want is to unbuild limiting beliefs about personal image, because I want to contribute to more self-awareness, to a confident community of women at peace with their image and how they communicate their essence through their appearance, behavior, and communication styles. And I am a firm believer that if you don't have a goal and you don't know what you're doing, you will wear anything and that will be okay. For you to really make choices, for you to really be conscious about what works either for you or for your client, you have to know what's in their heart. You have to know the kind of life that person lives and wants to live, the kind of changes they're looking for. This is how you can actually connect and you can have long-lasting results for your clients. The people who go through the image consulting process and they are like consulted only as bodies and silhouettes and not as the people who live in those bodies, the result, the outcome of the image consultation doesn't last long, because they cannot really live the lie of the image that they have built. So by honoring your client's essence, you will help them be confident and look like they need, deserve, and want to look, not for 1 month or two, but forever. So this is what I hope you can do for your clients once you are fully trained.